I used to cry in my bedroom for days on end, wondering why my twin flame didn't want to be with me. But then I had a revelation that my twin flame didn't actually abandon me. I actually abandoned myself. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Twin Flames Universe, where you will discover spirituality, twin flames, and eternal love. I am Kanisha, and today's video and topic is going to be on why you experience abandonment within the twin flame journey and why it feels like your twin flame is always abandoning you. Before we get started, don't forget to like and subscribe, grab a piece of paper and a pen, sit back and relax and receive what is coming for you so that you can heal abandonment for good in your twin flame union. I personally grew up with abandonment issues. I didn't have a father figure. My mother was always in and out with her own life, that it was hard for her to fully be present and committed to me. So if she couldn't do that for herself, she wasn't able to really give that to me either. And so I always felt very alone as a child. And that tended to show up in my romantic relationships and really all my relationships. And I realized that I was the one who was truly believing in abandonment. And so it would show up in my reality as adult and in my romantic relationships, but specifically with my twin flame. And you'll find that it feels like your twin flame just comes into your life like a lightning bolt, and they like create all of these feelings in you, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is finally it. And then they disappear, or they block you, or they move on, and you're just like, what in the world is happening? I want you to know that this is very common. I know that it can feel just unbearable. It could feel like your heart is being ripped out. Like, it just feels horrible to experience that kind of dynamic with your twin flame. And I know that because I've lived this pain myself. So my goal is to really help you understand what is truly going on in your union and how to take control back in your life and really pursue yourself so that you will have your twin flame mirroring back, pursuing you. It is really meant for an opportunity to create space so that you can heal and know that it's spiritual and it's perfect, and that it's really going to teach you how to unconditionally love yourself so that you can call in that unconditional love as well. So I wanted to touch on just what my breaking point was. And that was when one day I realized, why am I trying to prove myself to this man? Why am I trying to show him that I am the one for him? I really didn't feel like I felt valuable enough or just good enough, or I just felt like I was always the one who was not being chosen. I was the woman who was holding space for the man's actual life. Like, that's just how I felt about all my relationships, that I was like that space holder. And it just did not feel good to think of myself that way. And so I just sat with that, and I just heard this voice. And I want to say it was my higher voice, but I remember her saying, like, you deserve the absolute best, and you always leave yourself to show everyone else why they should choose you, but you're not actually choosing you. And I remember that bringing just like tears to my eyes, because it was true. I really resonated with the fact that I would leave myself in order to take care of other people. I would abandon my core values and my beliefs and my morals in order to like take care of other people or show them that they deserve to be loved and cherished, but yet I wasn't doing that for myself. And that truth just shattered me. It made me really start to feel the truth of what I was holding, or at least the illusion of what I was holding on to, which was that I continuously tried to prove to myself that I wasn't good enough. And it ultimately was subconscious. And so when I realized this, that I was always begging for love, that I was always begging for my twin flame to see me, that I was begging for his attention, and that I did this in other relationships, I was ultimately ignoring my own needs and my own soul and what I truly desired in my heart. And that was to be able to be the person I desired to be. So I turned inwards. I started talking to myself and having this inner dialogue. And even though it felt very slow and messy, it was very real, because I was starting to really show up for myself and commit to myself. and have this intimate relationship that I really desired with my twin flame, but instead I was having it with myself. And that's when things really started to shift in my twin flame union. Because I was giving myself all of my attention and really just showing up for me in every area of my life. Any place that didn't feel good, I started to really show up for myself in that space. I started to ask myself, well, why do I abandon myself here? Why do I think this negative thought here? Why do I think that I'm not enough? Or why do I think that I have to prove my worth here? Where is that stemming from? And naturally, my true twin flames started reaching out to me instead of me continuously always reaching out to him and trying to start a conversation. I stopped trying to get things from him and started to give all of those things to me. I find that there was a myth that I was holding on to that was really hurting me when I started to really have these intimate conversations with myself. And there is a toxic myth that I see throughout twin flame communities. And it made sense that I was holding on to this because it's part of what the collective holds on to. But it's like this belief that you have to be fully healed in order to be with your twin flame. And that is a complete lie. You do not need to be fully healed. I am in union with my twin flame. I live with my twin flame. We see each other absolutely every day. And I guarantee you, there are still many things that we're healing every day. But you don't have to hold on to this belief that you have to be fully healed in order to be with them. So what I really had to do was sit back and look at how perfect I actually was in divine truth. I had to really see that I was already enough in this moment for my twin flame. There was nothing I had to do. There was nothing I had to be, that I was already love itself. And so when I started to honor that about myself and be completely honest with that and just receive me, then he really started to reflect that back to me because he is me. He's going to reflect back my beliefs about me. Another belief that people hold on, another myth, is that you're not going to have union in this lifetime. That is the silliest thing ever. If you have a desire, if you're here, if you're doing the inner work, know that union is for you now, that you're meant to have it in this lifetime, or you wouldn't have the desire for it. So you don't have to be perfect. That is the truth. You don't have to chase your twin flame. You don't have to convince them that you're twin flames. All you have to do is you have to stop abandoning yourself for love and start giving yourself all of that love that you desire from your twin flame, from anyone else, and truly give that to yourself. And the other thing that I really encourage you is that you're not doing the healing to get your twin flame. You're not doing the healing to get something outside of you. You're doing it so that you feel better within. You feel whole and complete within. You're giving yourself what you need because you're the most important priority. You're the most important person in your life. And so you're doing this work for you. But what really helped me heal my abandonment wound was really doing the daily work of the mirror exercise. I did the mirror exercise every day till this day, even living with my twin flame. I do the mirror exercise. I actually even do the mirror exercise in front of him because a lot of the times when I'm in an upset, it's because he's triggered something and he's right there. And so I do the mirror exercise in front of him so that he can see that I'm going to take full responsibility of my reality. And by doing that, he's also learning how to do the mirror exercise too. And he's recognizing how I mirror things back to him that don't always feel great, but that I also mirror back to him all the unconditional love that he gives himself. So I highly recommend learning and mastering the mirror exercise, writing out all of your upsets, really making sure you're working through every step of the mirror exercise. And luckily there's only 4, so it's not anything super big. It's just really making sure that you're doing the inner work, you're going within, you're truly connecting with all parts of yourself. You're loving all parts of yourself and you're bringing all of those parts of yourself home. The other thing that I really encourage you to do with healing is working with an Ascension Coach. I work with an Ascension Coach every week and I would not know what to do without her because sometimes I get lost in just the daily life of things. And sometimes I just feel like, no, I don't see how this is, like, I'm not doing this within my life. I don't know how this is showing up this way. That's because it's a surface level thing. So when you really go deep into the inner work and you have someone there to guide you, you find, oh, I do see where I'm doing this on a soul level, not so much on a surface level, but on a soul level. And you want to make sure that you have the support to really move you through those upsets so that you can come back to your true authentic self. You can come back to love. And I encourage you to really do that, because that is how you start to build trust with yourself. And when you build trust with yourself, you start to really commit to yourself. And that is how you truly heal that abandonment wound within yourself, is that you stop abandoning yourself and you start to fully commit to yourself. You are not alone, and you are already enough. And thank you again for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.